Save 8% off your order at TruTechTools.com by using the Shop Talk discount code. And welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk live in the morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning, Clint Glasgow. Good to see you're here. Easy Heat and Cooling. T-Lec was here, looks like last night, commenting on the event as soon as I made it. So what's up, Thomas? Good to see you all. Hope you're all checking it out this morning. It is March 22nd, 2022. It's a lovely day here in Willard, North Carolina. The guineas are cackling. The roosters are crowing all day, every day, like usual. All day, every day. When you have two roosters, there's a competition that forms. And if you don't properly treat the problem, you have an issue that lasts all day, every day. People of the country, you got to calculate your animals correctly. And let me turn my heater off because it's loud. Sorry about that, guys. What's up, Brandon Brenny? Good to see you too, man. You don't need internet for this show, Brandon, which is a good thing for you. If you want to call, you can call. Hey, all right, you can just call on the good old-fashioned telephone. That'll work for this show. So, yesterday we had our first morning show. Today we're going to have our second in a row. And if tomorrow we have another one, that is a streak. That is a winning streak, and we will be on top of the world. That's what I'm saying here. So there's a few things I want to talk about this morning. We're probably not going to go as long this morning as we did yesterday because I have to take my dog to the vet. My dog comes with a whole host of problems, so she has to go back to the vet to be treated for those problems. She's okay, but she just has, it's like a car that needs a tune-up every 150 miles, it seems like. What's up, Bimco, our buddy from yesterday? Bimco was on the internet. I singled him out on the internet, put him up as an Instagram post or something like that. I think I put it on Facebook too. We were talking about the compressors for the VRF machines. Very interesting. Brandon Brenny says 3 in a row is a turkey. That is correct. It's like bowling. I have gotten a turkey before, and boy, was I boisterous when that happened because I'm not a good bowler. Man, oh man. Brandon Brenny was at the vet yesterday. Hopefully this, with an animal, of course. Hopefully there's some sort of animal involved. Or maybe he was fixing an air conditioner. You never know. But, like I said, I digress. I was going to mention something. Those of you who listened yesterday, and these shows are podcasts, I leave the shows themselves up for most of the day. Then I take them down and put them in an unlisted group, which is something you can still watch on YouTube if you want to. If you go to, my channel and then go to the playlist, you can watch these live streams all in a row. I just didn't want to leave every single one of them up because it kind of clogs your subscriptions if you see a whole bunch of these things in a row. So I try to remove them so you can go back and watch them. Plus, when you watch one of these things on a certain day, I'm kind of discussing things that are relative to that day. So sometimes when you come back and watch them, it doesn't make any sense. So that's why I'm doing that. And they're podcasts, so you can listen to the podcast if you want to later, if you missed part of it or whatever. Some people like podcast only, which is okay. You can ride around the truck and do that, which makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. But during the show yesterday, my brother-in-law had texted me or something like that, and I'm doing some work for him. He texted me, and this is common. Doing a job, I'm doing it at this nice, slow pace on account that it's like something I do not that often, install job. And he texts me and he goes, well, we're going to need our CO by next Monday. Like next Monday. And like none of the trades are finished. Of course, this is easily attainable stuff, right? Blah. No, I don't think so. So he wants a CO. He said like it was the 27th. I'm like, that's a Sunday. I'm not sure that our rural inspection department is going to give out COs on a Sunday. He's like, oh yeah, it's a Monday. It's a Monday. So, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so I have a lot of work to do. And I'm like, I don't think that's humanly possible. I'm going to go ahead and lay the framework for that's not going to happen. So I said, I'm going to call into the supply house and go ahead and get my quote together for some of the stuff that I need. And some of the stuff that I needed was Flex. Now, I don't know. I've heard a few things about Flex off and on. But when I called all the supply houses, nary one of them had Flex. I know it was an issue before because I remember my brother was doing a job and he actually had to wait till he could get enough Flex to do the job. And evidently, it's still quite a problem because I called a very big supplier, Johnstone, and then I called Carrier Southeast, which are the two places which I normally go for ductwork, and everywhere else or everything else, I go to United Refrigeration for all my parts because I just like those. United Refrigeration is like a serviceman supply house. To me, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's for service techs. Then the other supply house, I feel like, are for install crews because when you go in there, you see all these like bar stools at the counter, and it's always like an install crew that's sitting at Johnstone or next to the popcorn machine or the drink machine because it's Johnstone. They have a bunch of fancy stuff there. It's always install guys. Now, there's a service counter at our Johnstone where I feel at home. I don't feel at home in the install section. I feel at home with service technicians because I feel like I could talk to them and we understand each other. With install guys, I feel like I'm just like a different breed of person altogether. I don't know what that is. I just don't feel like we're the same. No better, no worse, just dissimilar, like from a different country or something like that. So that's why I like United. United's like service tech supply house. Everything that the other stores don't have, United typically carries. Like if you need some kind of pulley or you need a special belt for a machine or you need some specialized refrigeration parts, it seems like United is always the place to go for me. Brandon says he's at the vet for puppy shots, which is good. That means routine. All the puppies are doing fine. And my puppy's really good. My puppy's name is Ginger, and Ginger is a poodle. That's right. I have a poodle. And I walk this poodle every day, and I try to hold my hand like this while I'm walking it. For those of you who listen as a podcast, I'm holding it as if you would hold a small cup of tea. I even might hold my finger out like that. Stick my finger out, just like I'm playing like tea with a small, tiny girl or something. I don't know. I kind of lost it right there. But it's a good dog. She's very, very good-tempered. She had like some stomach issues. That's right. Stomach issues where I woke up in the morning, and we'll get to actual HVAC in a second. Brandon says both of his dogs are poodles. That's a trip. That's a trip. That's funny. So I'll tell you this quick story. We'll get back to some of the comments, and we'll talk a little bit about this whole supply chain thing. So I woke up one morning, and it was early in the morning. I walked down, and I was like, man, what is that smell? What is that smell? Now, there's a dog crate in my living room, and I didn't put two and two together, and I said, the smell is coming from that dog crate. I pulled up the little curtain that we put over it at night so she sleeps better because it wants nice and dark when you sleep. At least I do personally. I pull up the curtain, and she had just, like, bombed that dog kennel. Like, she had some kind of stomach problem, and it was like, oh, my. It was horrible. It was like Hiroshima and Nagasaki in dog feces format. So that dog had to be cleaned and showered off. That kennel had to be... I cleaned it, man, but I tell you what, it's about to go over a ledge or something like that. It was horrible. And then she did it again like 2 days later, and I was like at my wit's end. I'm like, dog, you have to stop doing this. You know, we're going to put you in one of those diapers like Steve Labb does his dogs or something. We have to prevent you from doing this because this is horrible. It is awful. And the second time, I was about to chuck that dog against a wall because I came out there and I smelled it. I was like, dog, you're going to die today. It's time for you to die, dog. But that day passed. My temperament has changed in my older times. In my younger days, I wouldn't have had a check valve over there. Like, see, my neighbors are driving by looking over here. It's like, what's that guy doing in there? I'm podcasting, bro. Step off. Okay, so that was horrible, but we kind of made it through that time. Our BMs are good. Everything's fine. Me, Kyle Avocado Gaming says never ate the popcorn. I used to eat popcorn at Johnstone all the time, and before it was Johnstone, a man named Clyde Joyner owned that same supply house, and it was Joyner Supply. It was popcorn all day, every day, because I used to be on the install crew back in the day. I didn't know nothing about service, so I was a popcorn eating fool, which is not necessarily just installers. I think service techs like popcorn too. Thomas says Johnstone has been counters from back in corporate office trying to keep the minimum amount of stock at a location to save money. Oh, okay. Except for maybe all the chemical cleaners and stuff on the outside that make them look like they have something. Okay, so it's like the illusion of being fully stocked. Well, it was across the board. Oh, good morning to Ivan Hall, my brothers in Christ. And Matthew McKinney. What's up, man? Our old buddy from... Matthew, you got to forgive me because I don't remember. I know where you worked before, but I'm not quite sure where you work now. So I don't want to say anything because I think you work somewhere else now. But you can help me with that if you want to in the chat. Matthew McKinney, we've interviewed him a few times on the show, had a really, really good time. So going back to the supply chain issues, I thought it was just going to be like one supply house. I even worked my way through, because I have a certain amount of accounts. I don't have accounts with everybody in town, especially not now after all this time. So I called Johnstone, and I called Carrier Southeast. United doesn't carry that stuff at all. They don't carry ductwork. And I also looked online at my Lowe's and Home Depot apps, and nobody had R8 Flex. There was not a single place that had R8 Flex. When I logged on to Lowe's, because I'm like, I'll buy it from wherever I had to buy it. It doesn't matter. Lowe's had R6 Flex, and they had 2 boxes of 6. Matthew said he's a filthy manufacturer's rep in Indiana and Kentucky. Okay. I don't think that's filthy. I think that's what AK does now. He's a NAVAC rep, basically, or I forget what his job title is, but AK's all right, and so are you, Matthew, so it's all right. Someone's got to do the job, and we need honest people to do the job, so we might as well have honest guys doing that job. It's okay. But I don't know when the Flex is coming back into stock, and these guys didn't seem to know when the Flex was coming back into stock. It was like, well, you can keep calling, but we have a pile of POs backed up for this Flex, which is kind of telling me, Zach, the COD account, that you can go pound sand. You're 500th in line for Flex. So what does that leave us? What do you do when you can't buy Flex? If you're making a reducing trunk system, duct system, and you have branch runs coming off of it, does that mean we go old school, that we have to get metal branch runs and run metal pipe to all these different boots? And that's not a problem. I mean, that can be done, but that's more labor intensive. And when you tell like your boss man or a contractor that something's going to be more labor intensive, all they hear is it's going to cost a ton of money. They don't care about the labor part, but when someone says labor intensive, it is like a double term for I'm going to charge you a lot more money. And I will be charging a lot more money because it takes a lot of time to run those 6 and 8 inch pipe runs 25 feet, 20 feet with all the elbows, because all that Flex you took for granted, how you can just curve around piers and stuff like that and go over things, can't do that anymore. So it's either going to be a whole bunch of metal pipe that's carefully drawn out, and in the case of the return, yikes. All these returns were round Flex duct. So if we have 14-inch returns, that either becomes a 14-inch pipe or we're butting 14, the equivalent of 14 in rectangular duct up to some panning on the floor and then connecting that. And just imagine for just one moment, and good morning to Eddie down there, what's up? Imagine this. You have this panning coming out of the floor. There's a hole cut in it, there's no collar in it. You have to put one sticky back collar, flat duct collar on that thing, seal it up, and then put Flex to that collar. How long does that take? Not very long. Maybe it takes you 15 minutes to do all that, and probably not that long. 15 minutes, you got it all put up there. It's panduit on the outside. You drill a screw through it if you want to, whatever. Screw adds extra 14 seconds. That was easy. Now compare that with, you're going to put a metal rectangular duct up to that. Now, first of all, you're probably not going to put it all the way up to the top, because you're going to have a standoff because it's going to be wiring run across the floor joist. There's going to be plumbing PEX lines and stuff like that. And you're still going to have to avoid anything that's midway down, like the regular drains, dryer vents, all that sort of thing. And it just occurred to me that I hope they have bath fan flex, or it can be running 3-inch pipe through the crawl space. Ay, ay, ay. That would be too bad. Just imagine the difference in time if you're creating a square drop and insulating it into a rectangular duct, insulating that, taking rectangular duct and turning it with flat elbows or whatever you have to do, vertical, horizontal elbows to get where you have to get to the box on the back of the air handler. That's going to take, I don't know, 4 or 5 times longer at least. And 4 or 5 times longer your hourly rate. Now imagine your hourly rate is probably having to change because of everything that has gone up as far as cost because of the inflation rate has just skyrocketed over the last couple of years. It is insane how much inflation we have accrued. Not unexpected, just insane. It's expected because if you print trillions of dollars in money, you're going to devalue your currency. And that's what's essentially happened here. Our friends in government have taken it upon themselves to try to help us by printing trillions of dollars of money, but it's a double-edged sword. You're trying to give out money to help people, but secondarily, you're creating an inflated currency where it's devalued and all of a sudden everything costs more, but the wages have stayed the same. So if everything costs more and the wages stay the same, you have a recession. And then if it gets bad enough, you have a depression. Now, I don't think we're going to have a depression, but I think it is quite possible we'll have a I'm reading some of the comments while I'm talking. It is possible that we're going to have a recession. So, good morning, Bad News Monk. Everything is going just fine. Hope you're well, too. Our buddy Bimco has said, did you check Amazon? They have R4 14-inch. And that's what I'm saying. There's R6 out there and R4. Now, part of me is like, let me call the inspection department and see if they're accepting thinner wall flex for the time being, like some kind of exclusion just because of the current climate of supply. Maybe they are. I don't think they are. I should call them, though, just so we have something to talk about tomorrow. Call them and just ask them, so what's the deal? We're telling people to I can just hear them now. We're just telling people to kind of hold off and wait till you have enough flex. Okay, not possible. What's your next idea? Oh, well, you can always run metal branch runs. Okay, well, the rest of my life's going to be running, run outs instead of using flex. Thanks. Can we just pass the jobs with R4 in the crawl space since the TD is so low in between the duct and the crawl space air? So, well, the TD, it's not really the issue. The International Mechanical Code won't allow us to. I'm like, you want to grab a car and say, come on, man, we got to abandon the code. We got to get in there. We got to do this. And then they're just going to have you arrested. It's all right. It's okay. It's a real difficult time. I can't imagine, and I've been semi out of touch with this day-to-day stuff, and I never really was in touch except for back in the day. What's up, Raul Mesa from Memphis? All right, man. I was just in your state, bro. I was in, where was it? Knoxville. That's where our mountain vacation was in Pigeon Forge, and I had to go to Knoxville to return a rental car that wasn't working. Man. Thomas says if you're making minimum wage $15 an hour in San Francisco, you're in a depression. Yeah, San Francisco is like a whole nother country. San Francisco, I believe, was the most costly living in the United States. Everything, as far as like price of housing and stuff, I think it was the highest city in the United States, if I remember correctly. Insane. Just to put it into perspective, I mean, me and Justin and I, let's be correct here, Justin Beaver, on our Men with Issues podcast, like a year or two ago, I forget when it was, we talked about the cost of living in different places. Actually, no, let me correct that. That was AK and I when we were doing this show, Shop Talk, a couple years ago. Eddie, you're from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm sorry to get off the track here, but I was literally in your town. Eddie, we could have met. Although the day I was in Knoxville was pretty crappy. It was raining. We had to go to the airport to pick up that 12-person van, and the people at the airport had wanted us to pay for all the gas even after their van broke. And I was like, no. I was very kind about it, but I stuck to my guns because it was not right to make someone pay for gas whenever they were returning your broken car. So they didn't do that. They credited us $40. It's like, thank you. But Eddie, we could have met for sure. Next time we go that way, because it was a nice place. Pigeon Forge was really nice because it wasn't the season yet and it was not crowded. Next time I go, I will have to, I don't know how I contact you, Eddie, but I'm sure we can find a way. My phone number is all over the screen on this show all the time. And I'm pretty sure I probably already have your phone number somewhere in my phone from one of my text lists from the last 5 years or something. So, absolutely, man. That'd be kind of fun. We can go eat at the Frizzle Chicken in Pigeon Forge. That was fun. Be a good time. Go to Sevierville or whatever. Sevierville? Sevierville. There's 3 little towns right there. Sevierville, I want to say, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. And it was a fun time. We had a good time. So, but I digress. There's issues across the board. The economy's kind of, I don't know, it's not really into crapper, but it's heading that way. So I'm kind of curious whether or not we're going to have that big downturn. But since I'm out of the loop, I didn't know that all this stuff was happening to the severity that it was happening. I hear bits and pieces from my brother about the shortage of Flex. I hear about the price of refrigerant. I actually sold my brother my refrigerant at a really good deal so he wouldn't have to buy any and I could have, money. Lots of money. No, it wasn't a lot of money. It was a good deal. It was like what price I bought it back in the day, which was $400 for R22, and now it's like $1,000. So it was a real good deal for him. I do have a jug of 410A I'll probably get rid of because evidently it costs a lot too now. So I'll probably sell that. Sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Raul Mesa says, miss the giveaways. We might do, on this morning show, we might do a little bit of that too, Raul. So stick around and keep listening to this because I might drag out like some skill trade up every now and then just for fun and give away some stuff. Right now, the climate is not good for giving away stuff because I don't have a whole lot of stuff because we have been battling the prices increasing and the gas increasing we have 3 cars. My son drives, I drive, my wife drives. We take my mother-in-law places for the doctor, and it has just killed us. It is crazy. Matthew McKinney, our buddy, says R22 is going for $1,200. I should have charged my brother more. I should have done that. Yeah, Matthew's like, I wish I wouldn't have huffed all that gas. That's right. You probably huffed a couple $100 in gas right there. And, although you cheated death, you could have really just sold it. You could have sold it and bought something that was more potent. Like you could have got the crystal meth or the crack. The crack is more potent. That's what I hear. I watch New Jack City, so that's what I hear. Okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll take a little break. It's only going to be like 30 seconds so I can gather my faculties, which haven't gone, but, whatever. Take a little break. I have a little funny thing that's going to last like 30 seconds, and then we are going to take a look at something which I think is also funny, but we'll come right back to that. So just hold on 1 second, and I will see you guys in just a moment. Good man, air conditioning and heating.
It's cold outside. Is your heating system working? With Goodman, you can count on your heating system 314 days a year, 6 days a week. And you'll be right every time.
Thanks for ruining the commercial.
Good grief.
That's good, man. Air conditioning and heating. Yeah, that's what I do in my spare time right there. That's what I do. I did that this morning, and I was just so proud of myself. I'm like, this is really funny. This is really great. Well, at least we don't have to buy R1234YF at $1,700. I couldn't even afford to buy that. That's funny. Eddie says, I used to say pray for our president, but we're the ones that need prayers. Bimco liked the commercial. All right, great deal. All right, good deal. Okay, let's take a look. We're going to go over to a place I like to call Chinese Propaganda Town, which is TikTok, because there's something funny that I think you have to check it out. So for the guys listening to this as a podcast, don't worry. It's not about the videos on TikTok. What it is about, it's about the comments on TikTok. So we're just going to take a few of these, and then we'll come back and might take a phone call or two before we have to get out of here. If one of you guys wants to call in, just prepare, because we won't be able to talk for a long time, but we'll have a quality conversation. And actually, before I get into this, I should thank our sponsors for the show, which do make the show possible. So I want to thank Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket, I use their Y-Jack probes. I still have those back there. I haven't pawned those to buy bread yet. So still have the Y-Jack probes. Really like them. Good connection, distant. These are Bluetooth. This is great. This is live. Bluetooth refrigerant probes that connect up to 800 foot is what I measured. So it's pretty good. Navac makes the awesome vacuum pumps that I love. The battery-powered 2CFM and 4CFM vacuum pumps. one of the few people out there to have a battery pump. I think some people are going to try to release one pretty soon, from what I can tell. But Navac has the market right now, and I really like those pumps. Refrigeration Technologies. Refrigeration Technologies has all your coil cleaners. Hey, it's spring, isn't it? We need to clean our coils. They have all the different kinds you need, from the environmentally safe to the don't leave it on there or you're only going to have copper tubes left coil cleaners. And they're all really, really good, and I like using those as well. Company Cam, companycam.com. Company Cam's letting you document your jobs and making sure that you don't get into a lot of trouble with people that are trying to take advantage of your company, which people do. The customer is always right, my butt. Companycam.com. TrueTech Tools, save 8%. Shop in there, Shop Talk discount code, use it at checkout. And EWC zoning supplies of great quality. Got them at my house. They work great. So EWC, you can find out more at EWC Controls. Bam, did it. All right, here we go. I did a video. I love this video anyway. I had a lot of fun making this, where I'm talking about real-world recovery, and the guy who's also played by me there, who looks really, really sleazy. He's wearing the same shirt, actually. Is talking about how he's going to release a refrigerant with a set of linesman pliers and just chop off one of the lines and let it bleed out. It's real world stuff, guys, but I love the comments on these videos, because if we get into this, it says, I lost you for a second there. In fact, can I pause this? Yeah, I can pause it. I don't want our internet to crap out, so if it does, you guys can let me know. Looking down in here, there's all the things that we say and we joke about. You have Chris Thomas here that says, you're supposed to use your EPA rag and approved bucket of water. I've always heard that. I never tried the bucket of water. Man, oh man. And this isn't 1985. This guy is taking it really seriously. This isn't 1985. We recover and recycle refrigerants. Of course, it's just a joke. And then we had the two brain-celled conservatives in the comments are the reason we have a pollution problem. So the guys who are spraying refrigerant out, like waving their hat in the air, this guy doesn't like those guys. $37,500 per day per violation and loss of your 608 certification. So another serious guy. And there's 188 hearts here. I like it because they take it like I'm really going to spray a refrigerant out of this machine at this time. I mean, I might have right before this video was made, but I mean, like not during the video. I would never do that. So where's the bucket of water? A lot of people are using this bucket of water. And one more. Actually, you know what? Let's so we have time for the phones. Let's go back to the phones, see if anyone wants to call. I'm going to put that up on the screen. Anybody wants to call in and talk for a few minutes, 910-970-0043. Feel free to do so. I would love to talk to you. We only have probably about 10 or 15 minutes left. I have to get ready to go because I have to walk the dog before the dog goes to the vet, so there's no funky dog bits in the back of my car. I don't want that. That's bad. So Eddie says, commercial was funny and my gas furnace is a Goodman. I used to have a Goodman too. I just make fun of Goodman because of all the years back. And it's not even modern information. Like Goodman could be the best unit out there now, which I highly doubt. But it could be. I wouldn't know because I haven't put one in lately. Man, oh man. All right, I'm going to give it about 1 or 2 more minutes, guys. If someone wants to call in, anybody, you can call in, discuss stuff. A few minutes, you can talk about the flex thing. You can take, hey, I have a great service tech quiz, which is fun. It's not like a quiz like, what is the specific heat of water? It's not one of those things. All right, we do have a caller. All right, let me see. I'll put him on the line here. Mm-hmm. Hello, you're on the air.
Morning.
Good morning, Brandon. What's happening, man?
Just walked outside to make a plenum adapter in my van.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. The plenum adapter, like between coil and furnace plenum adapter?
Yep.
See, that's what I'm talking about, having to make instead of running flex. Now, do you guys have like a flex problem up there, or do you guys even use flex?
Well, not much. I mean, there's a flex problem getting it, but we don't use it very often.
Oh, yeah. See, down here, it's like, I don't know if it's just the type of place we're in or that we're lazy, but we have flex everywhere. Flex connects everything, and sometimes it's 90% flex, only run to small boxes in between other flex.
Well, it's because you don't have basements.
Yes, we don't. This is like 1% of houses down here have basements.
Yeah, so we have basements, so why don't insulate ductwork in the envelope?
Yeah, see, I like that. I mean, that's nice. I mean, I could do like bare metal pipe, that would be okay. But like this whole in the crawl space, even if there's room, which is what this is going to be, we're going to be in the crawl space and running multiple elbows and then insulating it. And they didn't have the sleeves. You pull over the pipe, so you got to wrap it with duck wrap. It just seems like hell on earth, is what it seems like.
I mean, it's not fun. Insulating anything is not fun. That's why we hardly do any ductwork anymore.
But you just a service most of the time?
No, Al. I do service and installs, but we don't do a lot of new houses or ductwork. We do mostly equipment changeouts and specialties type stuff.
Hey, that's where the money's at, man. So that's what you're doing today. If you're making a plenum adapter, you must be changing out what? The whole system?
It's just a furnace.
Oh, okay. So the coil's good to go. Your air conditioner's good to go because you don't run it half the time, probably?
Well, I mean, our cooling season's 3 months.
Man. So do you like that, or would you rather be down south with us flex lovers out there in the 80-degree sun?
I don't like humidity, so...
Oh, yeah, don't come here then.
I mean, we get humidity in the summertime, but I mean, it's nice out now. Today's supposed to be in the 40s. I got my sleeves rolled up. It's pretty nice out.
Oh, wait a second. You said today's going to be in the 40s, so your sleeves are rolled up?
I mean, compared to what it's been all winter, this is like, you know how it is in the springtime. You feel, when it's cold out, you feel, it still feels nice because you're used to the cold weather.
Oh yeah, no, I like the cold more so than the rest of my family, but I mean it's all relative. Like the cold here today, it's gonna be 74, and the low tonight's 57, so it's a lot different.
Well, yesterday was 60, so that was really nice.
Oh man, that does sound nice. Well, I mean, if you want to move to North Carolina, here, check this out. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions to see if you're well suited to move to North Carolina. If you don't mind, if you have a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right. So, do you like temperatures of 90 or above?
I mean, in moderation.
In moderation. Okay, we do have a moderate, we just a couple months of that, so that's just moderate. Do you like humidity of 80% to go with your 90-degree temperature?
I'm going to say no on that one.
I know North Carolina people also say no on that one. Do you like seeing mosquitoes in January?
No.
All right, you should probably just stay there where you're not going to see those things because it is like awful. Like for like a month or two out of the year here, walking outside, you're like, ugh. It's like the air is heavy. Like you can breathe it in. It's like chunks of air. It's disgusting.
We had one of the coldest winters on record this year in western Wisconsin.
How'd you pull that off with all this carbon pollution?
Well, you see, we polluted so much that it flipped it.
Hey, that would be like the newest thing, right? It's like it's global cooling now. It's like a nuclear winter, like after the meteor hit in Armageddon.
Well, that was in the 70s, man. When it was it was all global ice age coming.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was global warming because it's all. Well, I better keep politics out of your show.
Well, that's all right. Politics kind of it interferes a little bit because I have a feeling that politics has caused some of the issues that we have in the supply area and the cost area. But I think it's like we all know that, and like my brother used to say, our votes don't matter. Like there's some other guy up there that seemingly votes like 20 times for our one time is what it feels like.
Probably.
Yeah. Or at least I forget what those machines were in the election that they kept wanting to investigate.
The Dominion ones.
Yeah, Dominion. That's right. It's the Dominion guys. I voted 16 times, but not one of them counted. So how's it going besides that? I know last time I talked to you, it's been a while since I talked to you because we only talk on the phone because of your interweb problems, which I'm guessing are still the same.
2024, they're supposed to be bringing internet to our house.
Oh, snap. The show will still be going. It's been going for 5 years. You can be interviewed in 2024, get some fiber or something up there.
My wife is about ready to get Starlink. She can't handle it, but $100 a month is the...
Man.
But... I mean, we got the hotspot. So when we get our new internet on the 19th every month, we get the 4G for 22 gigabytes. So for like 5 days, we get really good internet.
Your wife starts watching Netflix and it's gone the next day.
Well, it works. It just buffers a lot.
Oh man, that kind of stinks. We had to use a hotspot whenever we were in between houses after the last fire, and we used like a T-Mobile hotspot. It was horrible. We couldn't do anything but watch like regular old television. Anarchy. No, my wife can't handle it because if she can't binge watch shows that came on 15 years ago one by one until she works her all the way up to the present, which is impossible, she's just not happy.
I mean, we just have an antenna too, so we get like, I don't know, NBC. We don't get CBS. We get ABC and Fox, and sometimes you can get PBS.
That's weird because we had an antenna years ago, and it was the exact same story. We couldn't get CBS, but we had like multiples of the other ones. We had like different towns of NBC. We could watch the nightly news in the town that's an hour away if we wanted to, or hour and a half away. Useful as that is, but I liked it. I thought it was great because it was free.
That's why I have it. I'm not paying for cable because I already pay for internet.
Well, what I found is that the fathers and dads and husbands out there were all willing to pay zero for an antenna, and there's zero wives or 1% of wives are willing to go the antenna route because they must watch fill in the blank Lifetime movies, Not Without My Daughter, the Billy Bob Thornton story, or whatever. They got to watch them all day.
You can get them on you got Discovery Plus, and you can get a lot of that. Oh, the shows where the people murder each other all the time and then they talk about it. Oh, she's into them. Oh,
that's like A&E, I think. My mother-in-law watches that. Every time I walk in the room, it's like, the first 48 hours are the most important. Solve the murder.
Yeah, I can't watch that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, you're going to come home and relax by watching people get murdered? I don't think so.
Well, now that it's warm outside, I'm just outside every night anyway.
Yeah, it is nice.
And my wife gets mad because I'm not in the house spending time with the family. Well, come outside. I don't want to be inside.
These are universal problems. Everybody I talk to is like the same thing. I'm going to go out in my shop for a while. I'm just going to kind of horse around out there for a couple hours. I don't think so. We're going to watch a movie.
I just finished mine, too. So I just insulated it like 3 weeks ago, the attic. So now it's done.
Oh, wow. That's nice. So you have like conditioned shop and everything?
I got a furnace and a central air in there. And yeah.
Well, you talk like that's nothing. That's the highest level of conditioning a shop can have is a furnace and air conditioning. Usually it's like a propane heater in a window unit.
Well, I mean, they're all used stuff we tore out of somewhere. That's the only reason. I didn't pay money for them.
Oh, man. I like this already, man. This is my ideal shop. I'm going to find like some guy out there, some rich guy who just wants to upgrade to 27 SEER or something. He wants to leave behind his 15 SEER. And said, well, do you want this old unit? No, you can just throw it away. Yeah, right. It's coming home with me.
Well, I mean, that's what I got. I got a single stage Temp Star and a 13 SEER Gibson.
I like it.
Because they were free, and both of them were only 6 years old when I tore them out. They weren't in the same house, but wow. So they're not that old.
So you have a Temp Star furnace, or is it a Gibson furnace?
It's a Temp Star furnace.
Oh, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the new style one, the 35-inch tall one even.
Good grief. I can't even afford to buy that if I had to. That'd be nice.
Well, then I snuck propane parts. I got propane at my place, so then I had to, we're a Bryant dealer, so Bryant's are the same thing. So, well, you got a propane kit here. I got a couple orifices here. I can throw them in so I can snake it orifice here so I can convert it here and there. And then I didn't put the pressure switch in.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I'd be all angry though. We get it, the furnace home. It's like, man, I got to buy an LP kit. This is bull crap,
Well, they want $30 just for that pressure switch.
Oh, I know. They're special. They're different. Like some of the other brands, it's like you get a whole bag of crap and you're done, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Extra crap, extra springs that you never need and stuff like that.
Yep. I needed one spring and I needed 3 orifices. I can find them off of scrap.
Oh, absolutely.
Extra.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna wrap up, man, because I got to go take this dog to the vet. And I'm glad you called, though.
Like to go to the vet. Mine has seizures. One of them does.
Oh, my gosh. My brother-in-law's dog had the same thing. It had seizures on the ground. I had to sit there and kind of pet the dog so it would come out of the seizure. It's kind of rough.
Yep. And I got the 2 poodles. One's like 4 months old.
Well, that's a trip. Well, that's kind of a neat story because we got the poodle. I was like, what are we doing with the poodle? But now I'm attached to the dog. It's weird. It's like I'm gonna dress it just like one of those poodles and put like a bandana on. It'll be like the weirdest thing you ever seen in your life.
Well, both mine are boys, and I don't give them the dang poodle cut. They get just buzz cuts.
Yeah, that's what the one inside now, Ginger. She she looks like a normal dog. She doesn't look like one of the poodles that are on like the dog show channel or whatever.
Yeah, well, my wife's allergic to dogs, so that's why we got poodles. But
that's right. They're hypoallergenic too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I don't want a little tiny dog, and that's pretty much the only big dog you can get that's hypoallergenic.
Yeah, that sounds about. Hey, it makes a smart decision now. It's coming back to me now. Why my wife said it was a good idea to get the poodle.
Well, yours is like a golden color, right?
Yeah, golden color, and they said evidently they make these golden doodles.
Yeah,
like golden retriever and poodles combined. I guess that's what that is. People like them. They pay like thousands of dollars. I think I might have lost Brandon.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, there you go. It like got real quiet for a second, and then he came back. Okay, could be our internet though too, as well. I'm in a shed that I just wired myself, so just take that for what it's worth.
Wiring's easy.
It really is. People's like, "Oh, you wired it yourself?" It's like, "Yeah, there's like a black and a white wire and a ground. I got this."
Yeah.
No, actually, when I talk to people, I represent it as very difficult, but I know in my heart that it's easy. Yeah, I wired it all by myself. Yeah, it took a while. Had to put those breakers in. Click. That was hard. Yeah.
It took me 4 hours.
Yeah, to wire everything. It took 4 hours. You know what the hardest part was? Digging the ditch over here, because I had to dig like a 25-foot ditch. I said, I'm just going to dig this myself. I don't need a ditch witch from the True Value. I don't need that. There were so many roots on the way to this building. It's unbelievable. I was like so close to just going to get the ditch witch instead. But I got my old electric chainsaw and I ran it right across those roots in the ground. The chain is going to be ruined, but I'm done.
We got a ditch. We got one of them walk behind trenchers at work.
Oh, I wish you lived close by. I'd get you to dig a trench for me all the way back to that shop. That'd be awesome. So it's just a couple thousand miles.
Yeah, I mean, western Wisconsin to eastern North Carolina is probably not that close.
Yeah.
We were talking about going to Bryson City here this spring, and then we decided not to because it was too damn expensive.
Yeah, and it's still 6 hours from me.
Yeah, well, we were talking about, driving or flying into Charlotte or I don't know what we're going to do. But it was too expensive.
Yeah, it's nuts right now. We just drove, and it's still expensive to drive just because of the way gas is. But it came down 5 cents today, so, we have that going for us.
Oh, I guess. I mean, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, it was $2 a gallon. So that's.
It's politics again, right? Are you?
We can if you want. I mean, I am a libertarian.
Well, you know what? I'd love to talk to you about libertarian stuff, actually, because I like the ideas of the Libertarian Party. And if you're around tomorrow, we can do that. But I do have to go because I have to go to the vet.
Oh, also, I want to point out, hey, finish the Bible.
Did you? You finished it? I haven't finished it yet. Man.
Well, I mean, I listened to it on audiobook.
Oh, that's good. So what did you think? Man, okay, hold on a second. Are you going to be around tomorrow? Can you call me tomorrow? We can talk about those two things.
Tomorrow, I won't have. Maybe I'll have. I'll be down in Whitehall, and that place that I'm going to is. It's like an ongoing project, and that one there is kind of rough on service, so it's a crapshoot. I might have service.
Well, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna try to do this as many days as I can. There'll be some days I can't, but the next day that you can call in and I'm on the air, call in so we can talk about that and the other politics thing. We can talk about both of them. It'd be fun. We can combine those two. That's natural. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna have to close this thing out, but I'm really glad you called, man. I'm glad you're doing well.
All right, thanks. Yeah. Good talking to you.
Yeah, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye. It's good to talk to Brandon. I know I hate to have to leave, but I know I have to leave. I had to go to walk the dog real quick so we could leave. Guys, thank you for watching the show this morning. Greg Miracle, Eddie, I see you down there, Ivan Hall, T-Lek, Bimco couldn't call in because he had a compressor issue going on. I'm going to play our little funny commercial one last time. For those of you on the podcast, thank you for listening. You can always support this channel by giving a thumbs up on the video. The video will be removed at the end of the day, so you can listen to the podcast, or you can go to my channel and find the playlist to listen to these videos. I just don't want so many of them out there. That's about it. Oh, yeah, you can support on subscribestar.com/Zach Ciota. You'll find that in the description of this video and the podcast. If you want to support us by like $1, $5, $10 a month, something like that, which is always appreciated. And I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you for watching the show or listening, and I will see you on the next one. Oh, I was going to play the commercial one more time. Let me do that. Here it goes, guys. Good day. Good man, air conditioning and heating.
It's cold outside. Is your heating system working? With Goodman, you can count on your heating system 314 days a year, 6 days a week. And you'll be right every time. Thanks for ruining the commercial. Good grief. That's good, man. Air conditioning and heating.